Hey, what's up, you guys? It's your girl, Alexandria K, aka Alex the Mogul. I'm just gonna get right into it. The cat is out of the bag. A renter destroyed my Mercedes, guys. My 2021 CLA, the white one, the first one that I went and got before I ever started my fleet, is total. This car was being rented out on Turo, and I'm just gonna walk you guys through the steps of the whole process, everything that I had to go through to get this situation taken care of.
My baby, this is my baby, not my baby.
So the first thing that happened was the renter calls me about 24 hours after I dropped the vehicle off, calls me around 6 p.m., says that he had a blowout and that he was gonna get the car towed to the dealership, and after he got the tires repaired, that he wanted to return the car because the car smelled like cigarette smoke. I know my car does not smell like cigarette smoke. So once he said this, I already kind of knew that something was up. But I just went with it. I was like, okay, thank you for getting the car towed. I'll let you know, we can go from here. AAA drops the car off at Park Place. And I go up there and I look at it and I see the tires and I'm like, oh, wow, that looks like more than a blowout, So I sit down, I speak with my service advisor. We talk about it for a second. I leave, I come back and he tells me like, no, this guy did not have a blowout, Alex. Like, this dude really tore up your car. Like, we can't even drive it over to the other side where it needs to be. We're going to have to tow it over there. There's a lot of damage. Yeah, there's a lot going on. It was more than just a blowout. This guy hit something. And this is before, so this car has only been on Turo for a month or maybe 2 months. I'm not sure. It was on Touro. It was doing very well. I never saw this car, y'all. So when this happened, I was devastated. And the crazy thing is, I had all this information that I needed about Turo claims, and I just never went and watched the course. So I really didn't have a clue what to do. So I filed a claim with Turo, and probably a few days later, Turo is like, I can honestly tell you guys, I did not fully read the terms and conditions of the Turo policies, the insurance policies. That's my fault. You 100% need to read all of it. So probably 7 days later, Turo calls me. They tell me that they are only going to cover the tires because they don't cover mechanical damage. And I'm like, no, this is crazy. My car is ruined. There has to be something that we can do. And so the claim adjuster with Turo is like, well, we can get a third-party company to cover the mechanical damage, but you have to prove that the mechanical damage was caused by the renter. I'm like, the car is at the body shop. It's extremely damaged. What more proof do you need? They were like, yeah, we understand that, but we don't know if the car was like that before the renter got in the vehicle. And I'm telling them, if the car was like this before the renter got in the vehicle, I would never have been able to rent them the car. The car is non-drivable. You can't even turn it on. The oil, it's leaking oil, it's leaking coolant. The car was in perfect condition. So one thing I can tell you guys about Turo is they have to have photographic proof of everything. And I do mean everything. So if you are new to Turo and you haven't done Turo, before your pre-trip and after your trip, you need to take lots of photos. And I do mean photos of absolutely everything, down to the tire tread and the undercarriage. Turo was basically trying to tell me that I didn't have photos of what it looked like before, so I couldn't prove that that was done. And at the time, I just wasn't taking pictures of the undercarriage and underneath the hood. I didn't think that it was necessary. So what I had to do was have the body shop send an estimate to a company called Snapsheet that Turo uses to file the claims. So Turo got the estimate from Snapsheet, and when I tell you guys the damage, it was $27,000 worth of damage that this man did to this car. I mean, my oil pan was cracked, my alternator had damage, my battery was messed up, my compressor was broken, it was leaking coolant, my fan was broken, my rims were bent. This car was just destroyed. And I'm not gonna lie, at first Turo just refused to accept this. You know, they are going to try to do everything they can to make you 100% prove that this person damaged your vehicle. So just make sure that you have all of your before proof that is necessary just in case this ever happens. And this is my first car ever on Turo, and this happened to me. I know people that have 20 cars on Turo and have never had a claim. So just because this happened to me doesn't mean that it's going to happen to you. I'm just sharing my experience with you guys. Turo gets the estimate from Snapsheet. They say, okay, that's fine and dandy, but that still does not prove that this person destroyed your vehicle. We need more proof. And I'm like, okay, guys, what am I supposed to do? How am I supposed to get more proof? They're like, we need you to have the body shop write down a breakdown of everything that's damaged and how the damage was caused. And I'm like, okay, cool. That's easy. So I call the Body Works place and I'm like, hey, they need a breakdown of everything that's damaged and how it got damaged. And the body shop is like, oh, well, we can't give you that because we don't know how the car got damaged. We don't know what damaged what. All we know is that the car was wrecked and that we have to fix it. And I'm like, okay. So then I called Turo and I'm like, hey, the body shop says that they can't give me that information. They don't really know how it happened. Turo says, yes, Alexandria, we understand, but we still need that information. We will not be able to move forward until we have that information. At this point, I'm like, what am I supposed to do? Turo is telling me that they need this. The body shop is telling me they can't give this. Turo is agreeing that the body shop can't give me this information, but they still want this information. It's very strange. So basically what I had to do was pull a few strings. I know I'm very acquainted with some people there, and I basically did get the body shop to write up, a diagnostic and say, that's what Turo calls it, a diagnostic report. I forgot to say that. So I had the body shop write up the diagnostic and tell what everything was and how it got damaged. And then we moved forward. So the process after that was Turo send an inspector of their own to come and view the vehicle. And that probably took 2 weeks to get somebody out there to do that. After they did the inspection of their own, I had to submit another supplement to Snapsheet of all the damage and all the costs. Turo and the body shop go back and forth about what they're going to pay, what they're not going to pay. So they did end up making the car a total loss. But y'all, this was over like a 90-day process. The wreck happened in August. The claim closed in November. So finally, after Turo came to the conclusion and Snapsheet came to the conclusion that the car was a total loss, they agreed to pay the car off and pay whatever else needed to be paid. The way that they determine what they're going to pay you out is based off what the vehicle is actually worth, if it was being sold today. And then they just send you your supplement. They pay off the people. So my car was actually sold to a company called IAA, Insurance Auto Auctions. I had to release the vehicle from the body shop to IAA. IAA went and picked up the car. I signed the title over to IAA, and IAA basically paid everybody that needed to be paid, and the claim was closed. The most insane part about this, y'all, honestly, is I had just took the insurance off the car like 24 hours before this happened. So when the car was in the accident, it had no insurance on it. Like, I was literally in the process of swapping it out and I did not even get a chance to. Luckily, Turo insurance did cover me. So what did we learn from this, guys? Take all of your pre-trip photos, okay? Make sure you have all of your proof and just be patient, because I was really like going through it, trying to figure out how I'm gonna, pay for this car, because it still has to be paid for, the insurance, and I was losing money every single day that the car wasn't on Turo. So like, I lost the vehicle, I'm losing money. Turo does not cover loss of income, but I definitely did learn a lesson. I spoke with someone at a mastermind that was like, yeah, just let Turo deal with it. Like, they'll take care of it, they'll handle it. It's probably gonna take 90 days to close out the claim. So I finally just kept calm. I let Turo deal with it, and it was 90 days to the date that the claim had been had closed out. So it sucks really bad if a renter does damage your vehicle, but from what I can see, as long as you have your proof, Turo is going to take care of that for you. So if you're afraid to get in the business because you think something is going to happen to your car, at some point something will happen to your car. That's just a part of the risk that we take. In the beginning of the situation, I thought it was a super loss, but it ended up being a blessing. So it's not a big deal. If someone totals your car on Turo, it's going to be taken care of. You 100% will get your payout. You will get your car taken care of. You will get it fixed, whatever it needs to be done. I'm not going to lie. Like, Turo had me on eggshells for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Their business model, the way that it's set up, they're very specific. They're very strategic. Turo is big business. So just be prepared. But if you have all of your ducks in a row, everything will be taken care of.